What up, everybody? I know it's been a long time since I posted anything on YouTube, but this is something that has to be addressed. This is concerning my husband and his health. And ever since my husband started dealing with kidney failure, he has gone public with it on his social media pages and gained a lot of followers in the meantime, because it's a lot of people that's dealing with health crisis, and there's a lot of people who's never dealt with any type of health or medical issues, so they're really interested. But my thing is, my husband is at the point where his First Amendment rights are being infringed on by the dialysis center that he goes to. They're telling him, because of their policy, he's not allowed to use his camera on the premises, and that the dialysis center is not a public place. But now they're saying it's private. But I don't know of a facility, honestly, that accept Medicare and Medicaid, which is paid through the public, to be private. When I did CNA for over 23 some years of my life, we were taught as CNAs what was private as far as the healthcare goes and what was public. Private, first off, is for people who pay out of pocket or who family is paying out of pocket for their care, whether they're in a hospital, nursing home, or any other healthcare facility. But on the other hand, the second thing, public, is when other entities or people is paying for your health care. And as long as they're accepting that money into their accounts and paying their staff and themselves with it, it's public. So, the thing that happened at dialysis 2.5 weeks ago, my husband was at the dialysis center in his chair, hooked up to the machine. He fell asleep and was startled out of his sleep, because when you're hooked up to dialysis and they start taking too much off of your body, especially if it's at a fast pace, the patients would get cramps. In the past, when those cramps would hit my husband, he would immediately jump up to his feet while still being hooked up. This particular day, instead of jumping up, something made him look down, and it kept him in that seat, because his cords going from his chest, the ports from his chest, and going into the machine was in a crook in the chair. And he panicked. So he started summoning the nurses on the floor to come and assist, but they waved him off and waited until it was convenient for them to come and check on him. Mind you, my husband is very paranoid as it is with people doing this type of stuff to him, because he ain't been no sickly man all his life. This is something that just was sprung on him. So every little thing that happens, it freaks him out, okay? And they know his diagnosis as far as mental health go and everything. Why they would just wave him off, act like it was nothing, didn't come to his aid and assist, to this day I still don't understand why that happened. Y'all, if we do not find a way to keep the cameras rolling, just so in the event of something happening, they would get away with murder. And I believe these people have already been getting away with it since the beginning of dialysis, because they won't allow no type of camera footage. So what is there to defute any argument that something happened to your loved one while being in their care? All you have is what the staff member said happens. Who can argue with that if there is no camera footage? In this world, whether you like it or not, everybody is under scrutiny. Whether you walking your dog, you out in public and your booty start to itch and you take a scratch, chances is you on somebody's camera. If the police are mandated to wear cameras because of all the things that's happening, what makes a dialysis center above the law? And then to tell my husband their policy trumps the law as far as your First Amendment right, and you cannot record? What makes them so above the law? Especially a public place that's receiving public aid and Medicare. And a lot of them patients receive both. And then their lawyer was supposed to get in contact with my husband because it was caught on live, and he posted the live. And to this day, they still want my husband to remove that live off his page. But little do they know, even if he removed that live, it was screen recorded by a lot of people that have posted it on other platforms. So it's never going to go away. And now, not only are they monitoring all his social media pages, I'm now under scrutiny. Because I now go to dialysis with him 3 days a week. And I sit there the whole time, trying not to blink or get sleepy or tired, so I can watch these people like a hawk. But it will still be my word, his word, against all of their word. Who do you think they're going to believe? Somebody who don't have no education in the field of administering dialysis, or somebody that's been doing it for 20-some years? You tell me. Where's the fairness? Where's the justification in any of that? I didn't want to go live, but because they had corporate there Tuesday of this week, 2 days ago, and my husband asked to speak to the person that was there from corporate, they refused to come out and talk to my husband. But yet, he was informed that their lawyers would be in contact with him. We have yet to retain a lawyer, because we have yet to find a lawyer that deals with the First Amendment rights or any amendments that's being infringed upon in a public place. But yet, it's still, I don't understand. You can go on any of my social media pages and you will see I record almost every time I take my kids to any clinic appointments, ER appointments, and never been told I can't use my camera. They don't have that right. No, nobody wants to be on nobody's camera. But if you ain't doing nothing wrong and you ain't got nothing to hide, I wouldn't put you on there, no way. It would only be about myself and my child or whoever I'm there with. It ain't about the staff members. I don't plan to make them famous unless they deserve to be famous. If they're doing the job they're paid to do, and they putting the love in the job they're doing, and they got a person's best interest in mind, I mean every person that walks through the door, no matter what your religion, your background, the color of your skin, they're doing the job they're being paid. I have no need to put you on camera. But I do be trying to let my, followers know on my page what's going on and keep them posted about my kids, because they all have different health concerns. And that's why my page was set up. And since I know they're watching this or gonna watch it, they are reporting everything about dialysis, or have posted in the past. We have posted on our page. They're reporting all that. But why? Why are you reporting something that your face ain't even on? Conversations never even reverted to the staff until that day when it happened to my husband. That's his life. This is his care. He have a right to maintain his care, to keep his mental in check. And if being in front of a camera, in front of whoever view the footage, is going to keep him on solid ground mentally, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually, why are they trying to come in between that? And what gives these people so much right to look over your shoulder at your property to monitor what you're doing? And since that incident, my husband has been put in an isolation room. When he's on dialysis, he's by himself totally, except for me and a tech that's working with him. Ain't nobody else around, but he still can't film. I had to sign paperwork this past Thursday, last week, saying I wouldn't film. But little do they know, I might not go live. But I have my ways. And I'm not going in front of no judge to plead my husband's case without some type of evidence. Sometimes you gotta outslick the slick. And that's what I plan to do. In my care, my kids' care, my husband care, my dog's care, my pet fish, and probably your pet snake if I'm around. You hear me? This is very serious. Our First Amendment rights have been totally snatched up under us. Like we're just not even part of society. Like we inmates, locked up in some facility, being told when to go to bed, when to eat, when to take a crap. You're not finna do that. And if I gotta search night and day for that one lawyer that's willing to stand up for my husband, that's what we're gonna do. I'm a fighter. I've been through a lot in my life. So this is really small to a giant that my peoples created when they had me. I've been through this. I did it with my youngest when he was born. Had to sue a whole hospital because everything they told me the day after he was born that could go wrong with an open heart surgery, they went in that surgery with them knives and did everything that they said that could go wrong. And they thought, because I was so focused on my son getting airlifted to the next hospital, that ultimately saved his life. When my son came home from the hospital and he was stable on solid ground, guess what mama went and found the lawyer? No, it ain't gonna rectify all the wrong they did. But it did help towards an apology that my son will never see or hear. And his future is still paved. Because that's